Hello and welcome to the stream, to number 23 of the discussional podcast stream thingy. Today's topic, space! And with me, as always, is my friend Lothar, so let me bring him in. Hi Lothar.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everyone.
Ooh, I'm dark. Yeah, I'm pretty dark. Sorry for the stuff over here, that's not gonna look any better. I can try to fix that, but yeah, as explanation, my head is kind of exploding, so I'm not using my key light, otherwise I would just die. So I kind of have to work with that shit view. Anyway, today's topic is space. So we are talking
Well,
about
more like space.
yeah, something like that. So let me try if I can make that look any better. Eh, not really. Okay, oh well, we have to live with that. It is what it is today.
You can live with
I don't care, I have a black shirt on anyway.
that.
Alright, well. Um, oh, my glasses are transparent. Okay, anyway, we're talking about pretty much everything related to space games. We were just talking about what actually was the first space game, and we kind of came up with Space War, which was developed in '62, and it was basically the first space combat multiplayer game, um, which looked something like this. Uh, wait, here, something like this. Kind of hard to see. It was based on an oscillator, um, pretty much the same what the original Pong was based on. So, yeah, I don't think that there will be any videos of it, so I don't even bother to look it up. But yeah, this is the
I
machine
think there's
that,
a video about that, but yeah, who cares?
yeah.
We prepared. Good start for the third year of doing this stuff.
The cool thing about computers back then, all the coding was on paper. On paper with like basically like punch cards with holes in them and stuff. I actually knew somebody, an old colleague of mine, who worked for the US Army here in my town decades ago, and he was basically a programmer, but all he did was punch holes in cards to make those programs work the way they were supposed to work. Don't ask me, that's a whole different story. All right, anyway, um, and there's something up here that actually mentions a few other games. Some I actually have and will show. So, the first commercial arcade video games were Galaxy Game and Computer Space from '71, and later games such as Asteroids from '79. Um, there was also Space Invaders and stuff like that. But let's see, what do I have Asteroids? I think I have Asteroids actually.
Do I have whole Atari collection? I mean 2600.
I do have that on Steam as well, but I have a new system here, which is only for retro games. I will do a stream only on that. I already see Space Invaders 2, for example, but let's check Asteroids. I know that Asteroids is in there as well. Asteroids here. The original Atari arcade classic is back in all its glory. In this system, you don't have to install it or anything, so you just basically play it. One coin to play. How do I start it actually?
Old school
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, this is real old school. Can you actually see that? Yeah, kinda. Okay, so you accelerate and turn your ship basically. I hope the audio is not too loud. Oh, and
Like
yeah,
I can say.
you fly out on one side and come in from the other side. It is if you know Nova Drift, for example. Oh, yeah, dang it. Yeah, the controls are really hardcore. It was used to be played with a ball in a so-called cabinet normally. Was it? No, no. Coffee table arcade or something. I don't know. You had a table and a CRT monitor in that table, and as you can hear, it gets faster and faster and faster. So you played it with a ball basically, where you turned your ship. When I remember that right, I played it sometime in the 80s or so. So yeah, and Nova Drift is pretty heavily inspired by this game. You also have the velocity, um, some kind of a gravity in there. Asteroids also split off when you shoot at them. Actually, you know what? I have that installed, and since it's basically the same game, just from the new time, let's show that off as well.
You know, I would be surprised if you didn't install this game.
Yeah, I mean this is one of my
Yeah,
but yeah,
sadly, my as well.
just to show off that it's basically the same. It just well it is more fancy and you do have real enemies. Um enemies that actually attack you. So it's not just the asteroids. And the asteroids don't kill you when you get hit with
Asteroids
them.
had UFOs.
So yeah, that's when I played this game the first time, I was like, whoa, nice, 21st century asteroids. A lot of kids these days don't know asteroids, so they will never be able to really um, appreciate the evolution of asteroids. But if you
Some
know
kids
asteroids,
played GTA San Andreas, and San Andreas had the asteroid-ish game as one of the mini games.
yeah, that's true. Another game that is used in a lot of different games is Moonlander. Oh wait, is Moonlander on that system as well? That could be here as well. I mean, it's kind of space, right?
Well, I don't know, just called Moonlander.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also have
I
that.
wonder what gave you the idea that this thing is actually a space game.
Anything with a spaceship, not on Earth, I would say. Hunter's Moon, Lunar Lander, Lunar Lander. That's that's it. Lunar Lander. That's from '79, also from Atari. So yeah, it basically uses the same graphics that Asteroids used as well. Um,
We're still talking about Atari. Of course it is.
yeah, I mean, back in that time, you had no other way to do graphics really, so it was all you could do and get. Thrust and abort, rotate left and right. You can even change the difficulty. The funny part is in this system you can actually save those old games.
Well, it's kind of strange to do the modern system that can't, let's just say, have save state or something like that,
Ah,
specifically for older titles.
I'm floating in space. I went the wrong direction. Come on, drop down. Yeah, you don't want to thrust when you're facing the right way, because then you just push yourself out into space. So, there we go. Wait, can you see that actually? Where am I? Yeah, you can see that over there.
Yeah, we can see it.
So you have to try and land on those spots over there. Why? Wait a second. Why am I? That's not what I wanted. I played this game also on the arcade. Oh, and my cam just froze. Okay, yeah,
Oh, that explains a lot.
that's freeze number one. Yeah, that might happen a lot because for some reason my camera is just being shit lately. So, and the thing is, it resets everything, even though I don't close. Yeah, you know what? I'm just changing that. Okay, so yeah, you basically turn your lander and try to accelerate and get in that direction, in the right direction. For some reason, it doesn't let me use my thruster in any other direction. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's fully working the right way. Because that's obviously not where I want to go. I want to go somewhere else. But I cannot really use my thruster in that direction, so I'm not sure if that's might be related to my keyboard. My keyboard acts as a it can act as a gamepad, and some games have issues with that. Well, anyway, what did they mention? Was it Galaxy something something?
Yeah,
Uh,
just type Galaxy and we'll find out.
I mean, yeah, there are tons of space games. Let's go with space. Was it Space Invaders? Oh, Space War? Is Space War? 78 is Space War actually Space War? Oh, it actually.
No, I don't think that
Oh,
the same space
yeah,
war.
no, it is. It is a two-player against each other.
Yeah, it's one of those Atari starting titles. Like, I think they have one with the tanks, basically the same thing, but with
uh,
swaps.
I think it was Tank Patrol or something like that. But yeah, I had the 2600 and I still have one. I got that from work, basically brand new in the original package, 20 years after it came out. I found it in in a shelf on the bottom layer behind everything. I was cleaning that space up, and I see that original package from the Atari VCS 2600, and I'm like, yeah, that's what did they put in there? And I open it, and I'm like, what? The two controllers, the system, the everything. It was the original package. Even I think two games or so were included. Summer games and something else. I was so freaking happy. I went to my boss and I was like, "Hey, I found an Atari there. What's going on?" And he was like, "I don't know." Then I was like, "Can I have it?" Yeah, put $5 on it and take it with you. I'm like, what? Okay, that's mine. So I have an original packaged Atari. It
That
looks
shit must be expensive.
it looks like you could put it in a shelf in a store and just sell it. The original price tag is still on it. Yeah, I don't even know if that store existed back then already. I mean that was sold in the 80s in Germany as far as I know. So I'm happy about that. And it works totally fine. I came home, put it on my freaking TV, and I played summer games. Ah! It's one of those games where you needed two controllers because one might just break. And my Atari back then, I had Pitfall. God, I hated that game after a while. I always got killed by that freaking scorpion or something. Okay, anyway, those old games can also played with either touch or with gamepad, by the way. But I'm showing that off. Oh shit! I didn't even check the controls. Oh wait. How do I wait? What? Movement is that? Okay. Thrust and hyperspace. What? Fire is there. Okay. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Seriously, I have no idea. It's not working. I don't know. Okay, moving on.
So I think we should start with why this space craze even happened.
Yeah, why did it?
Because two big countries had something known as space race.
Ah,
Well, and basically this year is 60 years. 60?
Sputnik was 61, right?
Mm, no, it's not Sputnik or what I'm talking about right now.
But when was Sputnik actually?
Yeah, actually, 60 years ago, Yuri Gagarin went into space.
Sputnik was 57. Yeah, first man in space. Yeah, that.
There is a legend that young Stephen King seated in the cinema. It was 61st. Then cinema went silent. They turned on the light, and the panicked man ran into that cinema and said that Soviets, or it was about Sputnik. I don't remember. Well, basically, Soviets either launched a man or metal object into space. That shocked Stephen King so much that he became a horror after.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
I know this is a kind of anecdote. I don't know if it's true or not.
Who knows? I mean, he was too. No, he was. No, he was not around there when they did that Orson Welles stuff in the radio that panicked pretty much everybody.
Oh, you mean
The
War
alien
of the World?
invasion, attack of the
Yeah, yeah.
worlds, basically. I mean, that was kind of when you hear or read about that now, and you even listen to the recordings and stuff, it's hilarious. But back then, you had nothing. There was no internet. There was no TV. There was nothing. There was only radio, and what you heard in the radio was just real. And they made it sound real for the time back then. Holy shit, that was some high-level audiobook quality for the times back then.
Well, you would be scared as well if what you heard on the radio was like, "We lost London." Hey,
Yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, Yuri Gagarin, first man in space. Yeah,
and
April 12th.
basically, well, it's not like the start of space craze, but it definitely was a mm, really meaningful event. That first man went into space at all.
Mm. Yeah, it was the first real thing, somebody you could ask how it is and stuff like that. Everything before was just basically science fiction, starting with The Man in the Moon or something like that from Jules Verne. Um,
Yeah,
so I think the interest for space came up earlier than with Gagarin, but with Gagarin and the technology possible at that time or after a few years, they could actually start with games. I mean, there were no electronic games before that. Basically, there were tests and concepts and stuff, but it took a while. Let me see if that's actually mentioned in here. Uh,
it definitely was a good boost for that stuff.
Oh yeah,
A
definitely.
lot, a lot of science fiction that was written about space at this time, like Solaris.
Yeah, you also had a lot of movies already before anybody went into space, but
Yep.
that was basically the first time you could grab it. I don't know where it became physical truth. You know, somebody
Yeah, I get
actually
what you're talking about.
went there. It wasn't just
It wasn't just
fantasizing.
a fantasy
Yeah,
character. It was a living, breathing man who.
you could relate to somebody. It was a person you could relate to because he was real. He was not coming out of the imagination of an author or something like that, making up a hero. That was back in the time a real life hero, basically. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
actually have a. I think it's 1 minute and 80 seconds YouTube clip in the script thing. Basically, the launch of the first man on rocket.
which one is that? The first one?
The first one. The first one.
Yeah, yeah, blah blah. I know I'm not logged in.
Jetzt im neuen Tiguan e-Hybrid. Find your hybrid.
Ja, commercials.
You didn't log that in Opera?
Первым космонавтом планеты. 12 апреля 1961 года началась новая эпоха в жизни людей. Эпоха полетов в космос.
Yeah, I do have
Имя
adblocker active,
Гагарина
but
неразрывно связано с именем Королева.
Кедр, я Заря-1. Как слышите меня? Буду вам транслировать команды. Прием.
Заря-1, я Кедр. Вас понял, занимал исходное положение, занял, поэтому несколько задержал с ответом. Прием.
I've seen that before.
It's one of the most famous,
Кедр, я Заря-1.
let's just say,
Понял, дает
film that came out of the Soviet Union and basically non-fiction.
Yeah. Definitely one of the most watched, yeah, I believe that. If you realize that basically every freaking smartphone today has more power than the Russian space program and NASA together.
Yep.
We could. The funny part is we could get a ship to the moon with the technology in a phone, but we don't have the technology to get to the moon at the moment, which is kind of crazy. They have to rework the stuff they had in the 60s because it's not either it's not working anymore or it's not existing anymore. So they basically have to
You
reinvent.
know, I heard, I don't know, I think I read some kind of article that basically NASA astronauts complaining that they lost a lot of technology because of that commercial boom.
Why exactly? I don't know. I also read something that they basically don't have the technology at the moment to get to the moon and land there. So they're basically rebuilding and reinventing that stuff.
Yeah,
And they
and
have to use different technologies today, and they can use different technologies today because yeah, sending the original stuff back there with the computers we have now. I mean, it was a lot of analog stuff back then, not just in the computers, but also in the freaking ships. So a lot is digital these days, and yeah, a lot of stuff needs to be done new. But yeah, we will get back to the moon. And yes, we were on the moon. To all you
by the way,
flat earthers.
this short clip had in it one of the most secret men of the whole Soviet Union.
Who, Gagarin?
No,
The other guy?
И имя Гагарин
Yep,
не
one
назовешь
who talked with Gagarin. Королев.
Who?
Королев. Сергей Павлович Королев. Most secret man of the Soviet Union.
Doesn't ring a bell.
That's why.
Yeah, I guess. What was he? Kinda the boss of the KGB or something?
No, he was basically the main constructor.
Ah,
He was the main engineer. He projected this whole stuff.
yeah, makes sense. Nobody knew his name. I mean, back then at least.
Back then, not even Soviet Union know his name. His name became widespread, I think, only after Gagarin went into space.
You know what's
Before that, he was like non-existent.
what's kind of funny and interesting? I also didn't know that for a while, or I got that info a few years ago. The first rockets, besides China and Japan with fireworks and stuff, but the first rocket as we know it was actually invented in Romania in the 19th
Kinda
century.
yes, but actually no. They developed in parallel, not only in Romania, but also in Germany, in England, in Soviet Union as well. Korolev was the man who tried to invent rocket with liquid fuel. He was well, he had a competition who tried to make rocket with solid fuel, but in the end we end up with rockets on liquid fuel. He's
Comrade,
basically the father of all rockets in Soviet Union.
comrade, put gasoline in. We have that. We don't need to
Wasn't
invent
the main
anything.
problem.
What? Make rocket bigger if there's not enough space for the gasoline. Put oil in there. Coal. Doesn't matter. Anything that burns. Put it in there. AKs work when you put them in freaking swamp, in sand, in ice. It doesn't matter. Works every time. Put anything in there. Anything that burns. You have old tires. Ah, don't matter. Put it.
It's actually a more complicated and more interesting story, but I'm not going to touch that without reading about it at least two or three academic works.
Okay, back to games, right?
Kind of to space, but games as well.
What is the second link that you posted there?
I just used thought about it as a background phone.
Ah, okay. Okay, let's continue with some old games. What's that actually? Oh, that's 1999. So tonight we're gonna party like it's actually forget that. Just shoot everything you see in this back to basics interstellar shooter from Spectrum. Oh my god, Spectrum was not really known for having good games or graphics. Uh, nah, I don't even bother. Nah, no. What else do we have? Space Invaders.
1999.
Okay, was
1990.
Defender first or was Space Invaders first?
That
Space
game
Invaders.
came out. What was that? It basically came out after Doom.
What? 1999 came out after Doom? Really? Holy shit. Well, you see how much the Spectrum was capable. I mean, you still
See that?
could get stuff for the Commodore, but back then the systems you had lasted for a long, long time because technology didn't advance that fast back in the day. Nowadays,
Well, it's actually not true. If we look at what we had in World War II and what we had in 60s,
No,
that
I
was
mean,
basically a catastrophic leap.
yeah, but we're talking about over 20 years there. No, I'm just talking about consoles. The Super
Oh yeah, if we're
Nintendo,
talking about
just
entertainment, yes.
the Super Nintendo as an example. When I started selling the Nintendo 64, it came out in 96. They were still releasing new games for the Super Nintendo for at least a year or so after the release of the Nintendo 64. It was sold basically parallel in its store. I sold not as much as the N64 then, but I still sold a shit ton of stuff for the Super Nintendo. Even after they stopped really producing stuff for it, but at the same time, we still got new stuff for the Super Nintendo, and the Super Nintendo was out for a long time, and
I can
that's
tell you
that's what I
one
mean.
stupid thing. I can go and buy new games for NES.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still, I mean, there are homebrew or indie developers who actually release games on cartridges still with packaging.
I'm more talking about Chinese ripoffs and basically referring to our episode about pirating.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, newly developed games for old systems are still also coming out.
Yep, that's true.
Not for all the systems, but a lot of Mega Drive and Super Nintendo stuff, for example, or
NES
for
as well.
the PC Engine is a big thing. Not that much here in Europe, but everywhere else basically. PC Engine back then kind of passed Europe. I mean, I know it. I know games from it, and I want to get the retro console they released, but it's too expensive. I cannot afford it. And there's one console I really want to get, the Retrocade. It's an interchangeable base console where you can actually put boxes of real hardware emulated um, consoles on it, basically. So it's not emulating in software, it's emulating through chips and kind of hardwired emulation. So that's really awesome.
Emulation?
It-
Shit.
yeah, you basically play the original console, but you don't have the original console. It's freaking awesome. But it costs around 500 bucks with four or five consoles included. The Mega Drive, PC Engine, I think, and I don't know exactly what, but it's really, really, really great system. Okay, Space Invaders. Yeah, you have pew pew, and that's it. Oh yeah, and left and right. And is there up and down actually?
No. As far as I know, no.
That's what I thought. Beep, 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 beep. Oh my god. I actually have that as a real console.
I had that on one of my NES Dandy cartridges.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think it was officially released for NES as well.
actually, wait, I'm picking up the handheld of this arcade version. Oh shit, that's kind of loud. Holy crap, that was loud. Okay, give me a moment. Be right back.
Okay. Strange thing is about this old games is that mm, how much
I'm
people was fascinated with this space. That no matter how limited was capability of consoles, and no matter how much we still didn't know, and still don't know about the space. People were like, "Hey, let's at least imagine what we can do with our time in space," or stuff like that.
yeah, this This is Space Invaders for home. I cannot use it because it uses the huge batteries, like those batteries with that diameter, you
The
know.
body.
Yeah, the the baddest ones. You need 4 of them in there. 4. Okay, the sound it makes is kind of similar to the arcade. It's just more annoying because it's, well, beep, 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 and it gets faster. And you play it with a few rows of LEDs, basically. Kinda. LEDs are your shots and things like that. And that thing is a magnifying glass, actually.
But it's authentic.
Yeah, I mean, you see that? It's it's bent inwards.
Oh,
So
kinda.
it's really an awesome system. And the funny story is, I saw that on a flea market, and the daughter of our neighbors where I lived when I was a child, they sold it, and they could have just gifted it to me. I paid $5 for it, so. And wait, there's a date on it as well. From the Epoch Corporation Limited, made in Japan, 1981. Oh, it even, oh, I didn't know it had there's a plug for an AC on the side. You can actually plug it in somehow. If I would know how much power it would be allowed to put in that thing, but I
All you
mean,
need to do is just tear it apart, take.
I'm not touching that.
Hmm,
No, that's gonna stay as it is.
nah,
I
I'm
should
not
get the
sure.
dust off it, maybe. It's a bit dusty. But yeah, you had your little joystick here to go left, right. You had your shot to pew, 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 pew. That's really funny. Yeah, that's what we had back in the day. You snobs with all your Switches and Game Boys and Game Gears and phones now. I could actually play everything in this system here on my phone. It's all run through the cloud. So yeah, that was Space Invaders. The thing with the old games, the really old games, I mean, audio is really shit, obviously. So I don't bother with Space Invaders 2. It's basically the same.
Now look at this shit and repeat what you just said about Game Boys.
Why? So
I'm pretty sure you saw those things.
let's see. What was Defender again? It takes a while for the screenshots to actually switch, which is the only thing that's kind of a bit annoying here. Oh, is that that was a kinda side scroller, right? I think you just turned around, so that's hyperspace, whatever that means. Smart bomb and fire. Williams! Holy shit. Wait a sec, can I have to turn it down, I think. That's way too loud. Let's turn that down to this here, maybe. Oh no, it's actually a full-size scroller. Ooh, I did something. I went into hyperspace, now it died! Oh, that's the bomb. Ah, okay, and what was hyperspace for? That just looks like it kills me. The shot looks pretty nice, actually. Whoa, one shot you're dead? Holy crap. Well, you needed a shit ton of...
Back,
You needed a shit ton of
it's
coins
the
back then.
70s. I miss you. It's the 70s.
Pew pew. You have your fancy map above, so you know what comes when, which doesn't really help me, but at least I know what kills me soon. Yeah, I mean, this...
I'm going to be killed either by the blimp at the bottom of the map or by the blimp at the top of the map.
Yeah, the thing is, You need a joystick for that. Those games are not meant to be played with your fingers. Those are meant to be played with your hand, with a freaking stick in your hand, and just use your fingers for shooting. I need an old school arcade stick as soon as I can
Like
afford one.
those fighting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
fighting
those bigger ones with a stick on the one side and
controllers.
8
Okay.
buttons or so on the side. So you can play old school games authentic as they were meant to be played back in the day because they had nothing else. But yeah, for some games it's just those old school retro games are just more fun. Okay, let's see. R-Type is not in it. I know that already. Galaxian
I
was in
wouldn't
there.
say that they more fun. I would say that they should be at least more playable because of that.
Yeah, well, a lot of games back then were really not easy. They were pretty hard. One reason
No,
was
I
they wanted to
mean,
make money. But I don't know. Some games, it's the same for me. For example, when I play third-person games on a PC, I normally use a controller. I can use mouse and keyboard, and I do in some games, but in general, third-person game is controller for me. First person is always mouse and keyboard, but we're used to that. The games back then, yeah, it is different when you move your character with a stick. I mean, if you're used to that, and I'm used to that from back in the day, if you never played those old games and play them now with mouse and or with only keyboard, might work. But sorry, I'm old school. I'm a joystick guy. In some games, I have a problem with the controller
old
with
timer.
my yeah. I am. What am I? I'm Generation X, right? I don't know. I'm not a boomer. Anyway, let's check out this. So you only have a pew pew button and controls. So
Funny thing is that this game was re-released for NES as it is. Basically, one of the most authentic ports of the video game.
yeah, I mean that wasn't that hard to release it the way it was originally. Some other games that came out later, oh shit. Some games that came out later, yeah, they had a harder time to. Oh crap!
Well, that was fast.
Ooh. Okay, ouch. And yes, you have to shoot every single time. Dang it! Yeah, back in the day, you needed a lot of freaking quarters in your bag or in your pocket. Here in Germany, it was one Deutschmark, which would be 50 cents today. Although it was worth much more back then. So
Whole rapper with a million net.
yeah, today I think it would cost around $2 or so, €2 to play something like that. But we have no arcades anymore in Germany. There are no arcades. I mean, a few retro like maybe, but there's basically, as far as I know, in my town there used to be something 15 years ago or so. I think they closed, and it's still there, but they just don't open. They have all those old school consoles until end of the 90s or so, and then they just kind of ended. You paid $10 and you could play everything as much as you wanted. All stuff was unlocked and didn't need any money anymore. But yeah, with all the consoles and phones and internet capabilities and the graphics you can get at home, yeah, it's kind of hard to put that in a freaking arcade these days. So
Something that you can do in arcade and can't do at home right now. 30 monitors.
Yeah, but
Basically, laser guns. No,
yeah,
light guns.
that's true. Although you can use light guns on flat screens now as well. There is a technology for that, and the Wii used basically a technology like that as well. You could use a light gun with the Wii. It's not really a light gun
You know, I
technology wise, but
saw a lot of more than a couple of videos about how we how good you can use that motion control to.
oh, I know how it is used. Trust me. I played Call of Duty and Far Cry on the Wii.
So
I
yeah,
I know how
let's just say that didn't work.
I know how good it is. And I even had
Get back on the screen.
I even yeah, the problem is my camera froze, so that's why I deactivated it. Let's see if I can reactivate it. I even had that I mean all the Wii stuff that I have was gifted to me by one of my best friends. He didn't need it anymore, and I was taking care of his computers all the time, and he was like, "Here, that's for you, worth over $1,000 or so." So I even had that gun thing, or I still have it, the gun thing where you place the controller on top, so you have a
Oh,
real
you mean that limp of plastic, like to make it?
yeah, that S.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Exactly that. Yeah, I have basically everything that came out in the first half year of the Wii. I have. I have all of that because my friend bought all of it. I have tennis rags. I have baseball bats. I think I even have a golf club, and
Tennis, baseball, golf, and something else was sold in a bundle. So yeah,
yeah.
it's no wonder.
So, but yeah, he bought basically all the games that came out in the first half year or so. So I have a bunch of games for the Wii, all original. My Wii is standing over there, but I want to locate it somewhere here so I can actually play Wii games on stream as well. I plan to play Zelda Skyward Sword for a while, and it's gonna be released as HD remake. But I want to play it on the Wii, the original.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, and my cam froze again. You know what? You're alone on the stream now. I don't care. Sorry. So I don't. I could actually take off my shirt now because it's getting kind of warm. But at least I'm not in the way anymore. So, but yeah, that's annoying to have to restart my cam every 5 minutes. If the settings would still stay, that would be okay. But I have to change the fucking settings every single time. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I'm not feeling lonely at all.
Okay. Let's see other space games. Um, One series that's sadly not included in this system is it is basically like the other one, like Galaga. One game that is not in here is Wing Commander. Actually, is it? No, no, it's not. Wing Commander was the first PC space game that I actually played. Why did that not work? That should work.
D, wait for it.
Oh yeah, it's the set 2
Nine.
is not active. It's only the regular set. And it's an English channel, even though it says Russian in the title. Alright. So yeah, Wing Commander was basically the first game that I played. First space. Was it the first space game? Yeah, I think actually it was. Yeah, I think it was Wing Commander. Um, Wing Commander was an awesome game. Wing Commander, and then it was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Wing Commander came out. Wait, what? That's not what I mean. I mean the game here. Came out 1990. Yeah. So, I did get my PC. Yeah, I think it was 1991 when I got my PC. And Wing Commander I saw the first time on the PC of a friend. So, yeah, good times. DOS. Yes. And with the joystick, I played with the joystick. I still have that original joystick from back then. Yeah, 1990. That was a pretty cool year. You needed a 286 with 12 megahertz or more and 640 kilobytes of RAM. Well, I had a
Crazy.
386. Ah, I had 4 megabytes of RAM. Ooh, but yeah, the 640 kilobyte of RAM was the EMS RAM, which was not the built-in complete RAM. Forget it. And Bill Gates never said that 640K will be enough for anything. That's a hoax. He never said that. He said something similar, but not exactly that way. Anyway, I had a 386 with 12 megahertz regularly, and with my turbo button, I could overclock it to 25.
Fancy stuff.
Insane! That's power! And
Did you need a windpipe to get it cold?
no, I, I think it was even no, back then I didn't even have a fan on my cooler. It was passive cooled. Back in the day, you didn't need cooling really on your frigging PC. It just got warm. There wasn't that much to do. And I had a sound card, so audio was already taken away from the CPU. I had a shitty sound card, but I had a sound card, and I had a game port on the sound card, so I could use a joystick. Again, I still have that joystick, but I cannot use it anymore because, yeah, there is no freaking port for that anymore. So yeah, those were the times, and yeah, but developed by Origin Systems, not directly related to Origins from EA Games, slightly but not fully. Oh, it came out when I came back from California, and yeah, developed by Chris Roberts and Warren Spector. Warren Spector is responsible for Deus Ex, for example. Okay, anyway,
US was so happy with your return to Germany that they released this game.
the one thing had nothing to do with the other. So that was a time when I thought, I want to go to the United States one day. Well, I didn't. I should have stayed. That was the biggest error I ever did in my life. I should not have left fucking California. I was in California as 15-year-old guy who could program, and yeah, I mean that's when everything started over there. If I would have stayed over there, trust me, I would not need to work anymore. Definitely not. Either way, either through just having a company over there, or um, getting paid from a company in stocks and not money because they had no money. I don't remember the company exactly now, but there was a company back in the day in the 90s in Silicon Valley, and they said, "Hey, we can only give you the bare minimum of wage per month, but we can give you stock options." So yeah, everybody believed in the company, so they said, "Yeah, sure." And after a while, every single one in the company was a multi-millionaire. None had less than $10 million. And not from working, just from the stock options. And they were all still in the company. Nobody left that company. Why? I mean, so
Welcome and greetings to proletariat.
yeah, but I mean, hey, they believed in something and stick to it. And yeah, if you bought stocks for $1,000 for something like Yahoo, Netflix in the 90s when it was still renting DVDs. Holy shit, you would have been millionaire a few years ago. Not anymore with some companies because Yahoo and anyway, but yeah, Wing Commander, awesome game. Mark Hamill was also part of the game. In case you're wondering, I know you didn't, but now you know. The things you know. Yeah, he was the main character basically in the Wing Commander series, and they also had.
It's actually not that surprising because of.
Oh wait, he was actually was he in the second one? Because the first, I think the first two were actually hand-drawn cutscenes, and then they had um, the FMVs in the third one. I think the third one was the first. Actually, now that I think of.
What was the year of this one?
And that came, Wing Commander 3 came out 94, which was a freaking awesome game. Let me show a video here actually.
Yeah, okay. Mark Hamill. It's not wonder that he was used in Wing Commander because of Star Wars.
But that's why he wasn't used in the first few.
Might be related to third movie.
I mean, he was in Wing Commander 3 and 4, and did they release Wing Commander 5? I have to check, I'm not sure. There was... Maybe that's
Ist ein Spiel richtig gut, hört man nicht selten die
Great, we
Floskeln,
don't have
genau wie ein
those candy bars.
Yeah, it's German commentary, so... Screw that! Yeah, so that's Wing Commander. I think it was the first game where you actually had to shoot in front of a ship to actually hit it.
Elite.
Was Elite the first?
Definitely. Definitely before Wing Commander.
I played Elite. And that's a good point actually to bring up Elite. Elite is one huge influence to basically every following space game. And we waited for, what, 30 years or so to get a new version of, a real version of an Elite game. Because Privateer and stuff, they were all kind of related to Elite, but... so yeah, there you have Mark Hamill. High quality video. That was freaking awesome back then. I mean... well, it looks like shit, but... So yeah, that's basically Wing Commander for you. What impressed me the most back then was the hand. The hand moved in the direction you were steering and stuff. That was freaking awesome.
It is actually awesome.
You also had a lot of stuff going on the displays, and you could change your weapon systems. And well, look at the graphics. I mean, looked awesome. Came out 94. I mean, it's 27 years old. I mean, so yeah, Wing Commander, awesome game.
Elite was released in 1984.
Yeah, I know. I played it on Commodore.
And it was Vector.
So, and what I really hated, and I think everybody hated it back then, landing on freaking space stations was the worst.
That Rubik one, yeah.
Oh my god. The thing with the space stations,
It's Cobra Mark III.
yeah, that ship and that graphics is just awesome.
God damn it, I didn't even play this game and I know this fucking ship.
I played it. Yeah, I mean it's in the new Elite as well as your base ship. But yeah, you had that map down here, which was really confusing for me when I was I was 11?
It's still confusing.
12?
It's a third dimension map,
Yeah.
3-dimension map.
And you had all those infos on the sides and stuff. And the problem with the space stations were they turned, and you only could enter when you turned the right way. So you had to turn with the entrance to land in it. It's not like your fancy No Man's Sky. Ooh, get close to the entrance and it turns your ship magically around and puts you magically on your spot. No. You had to kinda do the math in your head to know the speed and turn the right way, and oh my god, I hated it. Landing on a space station took forever. That was the main game for me was, oh, I have a space station. Okay, now I take another hour to fucking get in there without destroying my ship. Holy shit, I hated that game. I never played it far because I just couldn't. It was such a freaking hard game back then.
Yeah, all you need to do is to buy Autodoc.
Yeah, but for that you have to land on stations, get some quests and things and whatnot, and destroy enemies, and yeah, nope, that didn't work. But yeah, yeah, that was all vector graphics. It was just awesome back then. Yeah, back in the day, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to even think about those graphics.
Okay, what did we have? Oh wait, wait. Let me actually.
Well, X
Oh,
series as well, but I think it's from 2000.
Which one?
X.
You mean X-Wing?
No.
Oh,
X
X
game
the
series.
space simulation kind of game. Oh yeah, okay. So this is your space station. Okay, yeah, he was actually leaving it. Is there a space station where he needs to land on actually?
Try to type Elite Space Station docking.
Wait, there's a bit of
Or something like
action.
ULIT, I think.
Docking here. Okay, yeah, okay. Now that's basically showing the station turning in
He's in my way.
several ways. It's not just
But he's flying right
spinning on one axis. No, it
That's,
just sometimes it tumbles. Basically, it's
Oh yeah, something that we both forgot to mention. You must contact the station before you're going to land in the station, or else you're going to be shot.
oh yeah. Ask for permission to land.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh boy.
So,
You kinda got the right side. This is just crazy.
I am so used to playing this game with you. It's not funny.
Nope. Whoever came up with that is a freaking masochist. No, sadist. And everybody who enjoyed that is a
Might be a
masochist.
masochist.
Yeah.
Reasonably well sort of aligned.
So your landing takes
How I used to play this
forever in this game.
Yeah, I finally found freaking X.
Not easy to-
1999. Freaking out.
Oh my god. It's still turning so freaking fast.
Well, that looks vaguely good. I'm gonna give myself a bit more speed.
Vaguely good.
Yeah.
That's something
There we go.
that's a bit weird in Elite. Vaguely good, but that's
down a bit.
pretty awesome. Yeah, great job in landing.
I don't know why, but I keep getting a bad
Well,
card
if
when
you do
I
it
try and
all the
whenever I try
time,
and
why
dock them, I
you
don't.
not
Whenever I
do
try and
it
homicide.
at the camera?
Obviously this game I'm going to be playing a huge.
This actually reminds me of what was that game called? There was a space game that used Newtonian laws in the game. So basically realistic real life space simulation. And that is freaking insane. You also had to first you had to get the right speed to dock on a station that was orbiting a planet or something, and then you had to get the right rotation, then you had to dock. And the docking was its own system, basically, just like you know it from the ISS, where they have the cursors that have to overlap and kind of aim at the door, basically. That was freaking crazy. That reminds me
I
a lot
think
of
I know
that.
the game what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of this game.
Yeah, me neither. But the good thing about the Steam library, you have your collections now. I mean, I had that already before. Space. I do have a space thingy. That should be. Thanks for scrolling further. Okay, so space. Okay, yeah, I have a bunch of games in here. I can talk or we can talk about it. Oh, Hellion. Hellion is the game.
Nope, I definitely thought about the other game.
It's discontinued, so you cannot get it anymore. But yeah, well. Okay, we have a bunch of games in here we can actually use. Kinda-ish. Descent. Yeah, I mean, you are kinda on planets and flying a spaceship, right?
Mm.
That was the first real the first game where you really had free how do you say that? There's a term for that. Free movement. It didn't matter where you wanted to go. Six DOF is what is it call it?
Elite.
6 degrees of freedom. God damn it. So you could go in any direction what you wanted.
Elite.
Yeah, jein. Um, yeah, kinda, but different. I
No,
mean,
it's actually 3D map.
yeah, it's completely full 3D. So, uh, yeah, sure, you had all freedom before, but yeah, since you played in third person, no, wait, you played in no, it's first person, right? Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
it's first person.
that's the remake actually, which is not back on Steam yet. Huh, interesting. Yeah, so I guess that one's dead. Well, Elite Dangerous, I need to play that. I only played 1 hour roughly. Wanted to have it for years, then I got it and then I didn't play it. But I want to play it in VR, so.
Shit. I spend more time in X Rebirth than in Elite Dangerous.
I do have X. Why is X not in here? I actually have X. I know that. Wait, why is X not in here?
I know that my ex on GOG, but I don't know about your.
XCOM, XCOM, XCOM? Wait a sec. Oh, here. No, I don't have just X Wars. Hä? No. I do have X. Don't ask me which one. Nah, I definitely. X3. Okay, that's one. But I do have the others as well, I thought. That's weird. Huh.
Conflict?
I don't know what's going on, why I don't see the others. I know
I'm
that I had
really
others.
confused with X3, as I know there is at least 2 or 3 games that named X3, and I have no idea how they're supposed to follow up each other.
Let's go to Egosoft directly. Full list, please. Not just 4. But I thought I had the freaking. You cannot get. Wait, you can only get 3 Rebirth and 4, so you cannot get.
I can't even see Rebirth. I can see only soundtrack from Rebirth.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. There's a soundtrack for 3 as well.
To GOG.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. But I don't know why I don't freaking. The problem is find a game with only X.
Try X Rebirth.
But that's really stupid. How do you come up with the idea to name your name one letter? One fucking letter of the alphabet. That's so freaking stupid on its own.
I might have a theory, but I might be completely fucking wrong. Therefore, I have no idea.
30 freaking bucks for that game? Are you kidding me?
And it's a standard edition.
Yeah, I saw the other one was even more expensive. This game is not worth 30 bucks in any universe, not even in the X universe.
It's actually pretty cool and interesting.
Yeah, but the game is 8 years old, so no offense, an 8-year-old game is not worth almost full price.
8-year-old Call of Duty worth full price, according to Bobby.
Counter-Strike Go?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Not any game is worth almost full price after 5+ years. Not one game. For me personally, in my opinion, not one game is worth almost full price after the game is about to be outdated. I mean, now since Unreal Engine 3, all those games with Unreal Engine 3 and following will still look good in 20 years from now. It's just the gap will not be that big. I mean, sure, games become more beautiful and more effects and more realistic and ray tracing and stuff, but Mass Effect Legendary Edition is a fully Unreal Engine 3 game with effects that the Unreal Engine wasn't capable to show back then, like reflections and stuff. I read about it a little bit. Not that I'm interested in the game, but okay. But that's all. All what you see now is just completely optimized and tuned up Unreal 3 engine. So any game that comes out with Unreal 4 engine looks already so good and depends on the game, but can look close to photorealism in certain views and areas. I mean, even Skyrim with the right mods and the right positioning looks freaking realistic.
That's true.
So yeah, I mean
maybe not realistic, but a lot more beautiful than Beaches that ever did it.
Yeah, like I said, depends. When you have the right mods and the right settings and everything, you do have to look close and twice to see if it's real or not. That became kind of apparent that we're kind of close to photorealism. When you watch Formula One races on TV and you have to look twice to realize, oh fuck, that's not even real. That's freaking digital racing because of the pandemic. The everything in Formula One, in the Formula One series is or can look like a freaking TV show with the camera positions, with the stats overlays and everything. If you're a fan of Formula One in TV to watch real Formula One, I passed the TV when I was at my parents. I didn't know that they didn't race for real. I mean, I kind of expected it because pandemic. And then I
Wait, if
saw it.
they didn't race for real, why the fuck there was?
It was digital.
It's in Spain, I think they gathered all pilots of Formula One.
Last
It
year.
was I
last year.
think this year, I think, because
No,
I
it was
read
last year.
something about this year incident that our pilot refused to get on the knee.
Uh-huh. I have no idea. That was last year with the pandemic. I think they did 2 or 3 um, races, and I've seen pictures of some of them, and they had really, really badass setups at home. Holy shit. Like real setups, racing seat, 3 freaking huge monitors in front of them with surround view basically. They were sitting in a freaking Formula One car basically. And what you saw at home was real racing. They were just not sitting in a real car. That was basically it. The next step would be to have Formula One RC capable cars where no driver is even in them.
Why do you need even a RC car when you have already digital cars?
No, I mean you have to control them, kinda, and that's done by radio control, right?
Yeah,
No?
I get the idea, but I don't see the idea why do you even need those things?
Why
Well,
not?
maybe
Because
for
because
show, but
because real cars can explode, and a digital car is just a digital car that it gets respawned. That's the difference.
you can write the script when they're exploding.
Yeah, but it's different. People can sit there and watch real cars drive around, hear them, smell them. It's the same, but no driver can get harmed. It's basically what they do with the freaking drones. I mean, you still have to know how to fly something, but you're still sitting on a freaking joystick, have a monitor in front of you, and can kill as many people as the freaking Predator drone has weapons for on it. So some attacks don't even need anybody close to Warzone these days. And why not do that in racing
Sometimes
as well?
pilots in the plane uh, really high about the drone.
Yeah, or that, but you cannot reach that plane.
And with the right weaponry,
Yeah, if you know where it is.
like with Sue.
Anyway, that's not far enough to space yet. Might end up in space, but that's a different story. Okay, anyway, yeah, this game aged really well, but it's not worth $30. Sorry, I mean you can get No Man's Sky for. Okay, No Man's Sky doesn't look realistic at all, but you can get that for less than $15, which is also the maximum amount you should pay for a beta that's out for 6 years in early access, even though they tell you it's released.
I don't know. I feel like No Man's Sky is actually still overpriced.
Yeah,
And
like I said, 50.
basically, as we're talking about No Man's Sky, I think No Man's Sky is one of the good example of space exploration games. Even though the game is trash, this is one of the good example of space exploration games.
Well, after playing it for 160 hours, it is not as bad as I expected it, but again, it came out freaking okay 5 years ago. And I know what it was back then. It changed a lot. It is now basically what they wanted to have on release day. It's still unfinished. You still have bugs and glitches in them in the game, but seriously, the game was serious trash when it came out. Definitely 100%. And they still ask for. It's on sale at the moment. They ask for 55 euros for this game. This game isn't even worth the 27 they ask for right now. It is just not. I mean, you get a shit ton of contents. They released 5 or 6 really huge updates. They get a lot of praise for those updates, which I really don't understand, because if somebody just provides what they announce they will provide in 2016, there is nothing that needs to be praised. yeah, say thank you for still supporting the game and continue to finish what you wanted to have. Kudos to them for that, for still sticking around and not going away and say, okay, the game is done. They know it's not done, but seeing it now, it was so over ambitious, like pretty much not any game before this. The next game that will be over ambitious will be um, Star Citizen. This will be the next game that will have been over ambitious and overhyped. I mean, let's be honest, that game will not be released anytime soon, if at all. At this point, it might be the biggest fucking marketing scam of all times. They didn't release anything. Squad 42 or what it's called will be an extra game. The game is out in alpha for years already. It still looks good, but no offense, that they just, I don't know what they do with the money, but if you have 500 million or so, you should be able to finish a game in 8 or 9 years or so. What is it?
Well, you know what they say: sex, drugs, and rock and roll is expensive.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Star Citizen. 10 years. 10 years in the making now. 10 years already. Insane. And since 2013, parts can be played in alpha. This is a scam. Sorry, this is a scam. This is never gonna happen. This game is just not gonna happen. No, I don't believe in this game anymore. Chris Roberts' game, by the way, who I think he lost his mind back in the Wing Commander days. He also made a Wing Commander movie, which is absolute pure trash. Then he was in hiding for a decade or so. And seriously,
At least he didn't went full
Alpha.
crazy to start producing his own drugs, lived with hookers, and then killed himself in Spanish jail.
Oh, you mean that antivirus guy
Yep.
who knew he is guilty as fuck and just went out the pussy way because he. Oh, well, anyway. Alpha 3. Alpha 3! Fucking hell.
3.13.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 3.1 million joined it. Yeah, I mean, I joined as well. I have an account, but I don't have the game. Is the Squadron out already in list today? I don't think it's out yet. You have to pay first to get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks on pics, it looks insane. I mean, look at this graphics. If that's the in-game graphics, holy shit, definitely next level. But when? When this game isn't released in the next 1 or 2 years, Unreal Engine 5 will just sniff it away. I mean, there's no chance. Now with the Crytek or with the CryEngine, they still have a chance to be the best looking game. But as soon as the first games with Unreal 5 come out, any game before Unreal 5 can just pack its bags and just leave. There are not many engines that will get close to Unreal Engine 5. The only one that could be capable.
Unreal Engine 5 is so fucking fancy that no average PC can handle it.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, yeah, with the highest graphics, every engine is like
Even
that.
in the lowest. I saw a couple of articles that said that even in the lowest mid-end PC will never run Unreal Engine 5.
You know something about the Unreal Engine? It's in
Yeah,
beta. It's not even released fully. So whatever game comes out is out in soon as 3 years or so.
yes, and then it's going to be still a mid to low engine PC.
Yeah, I mean, it will not. Unreal 5
And
games will not
what
run.
shit happening right now with graphics cards? I'm not sure that high tier PC will be
Well, about graphics cards,
widespread.
they already release new Nvidia cards at the moment, and
We're not talking about just mining right now. We're talking about semiconductors right now.
yeah, well, that's so far in the future. 3 to 5 years is like forever in the future in these times with pandemics and all that kind of shit. It's even you
Yeah,
don't
and
even know what's going on next year.
brightest assumption that semiconductor market will be same as before pandemic in 5 years from now if everything goes well. If everything goes well.
Yeah, well, still Nvidia produces graphics card at the moment and they're not capable of mining. So the
Yeah,
mining
that's actually a good thing.
the mining problem will be fixed for the future because they want the gamers to buy cards and play games. And
And there actually was also one of the te- let's say terrifying news that some Chinese mega miners starts selling their tearing down their farms. Therefore, on the market right now, a lot of chip used in mining hard. So basically, if graphics card look too cheap for its own price, there's the reason. It's a card from mining.
yeah, and you might end up with a card that might not live that long.
Yeah, from 1 day to 1 month.
Yeah, because yeah, mining is kind of hard on the hardware. It depends how you cool them and everything. So
They always undercool them. I know, and let's just say it as it is. I know the idiot who basically undervolting fans on the card that they basically no spinning. He always complaining that this freaking farm so hot that he don't need any heat during the winter.
yeah, but here's the thing: a card that's not cooled, it just turns itself down as far as it can to not kill itself. So where's the point in having a 3080 or 3070 if you turn it down to run lower than a 1060? That doesn't make any
Mm,
sense.
They undervolting it so they wouldn't hit that much, and basically so they can work a little bit longer.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would, yeah, undervolting is okay to save some energy and to lower the temperature a little bit, but as soon as they get over a certain threshold, they will turn down. So that does not make any sense to not cool.
I'm not sure about how they basically skipping that turning down thing from graphics card. But I know that a
Yeah,
lot of video,
then you definitely
there
kill
are
the card.
a lot of video cards that came out from miners basically have that GPU that was and miners before reselling this shit, they reheating GPU so it can at least say I'm working a graphics card at least for 1 month,
Hmm.
and in 1 month the card will well GPU will just die. I I heard the explanation. I don't basically know how to explain it in English.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, when I bought my 2070 last year, they were already selling mining rigs, so I could have gotten a bunch of 1080s for a few $100. But yeah, if you want to mine on them and then if one breaks, just throw it away. But yeah, that makes no sense. So yeah, my card is not a card that was used in mining.
Good things.
But I could sell my card today for almost double the price that I paid last year for my used card.
I can resell my 1050 Ti for at least 1.5 price from what I bought it.
Yeah, and that card is old.
Yeah, and Nvidia relaunched this freaking card.
Okay. Yeah, my 1060 was a pretty badass one. It's a extreme edition, so overclocked, VR optimized ports, HDMI ports. I have internal ports on that card. I don't even need external monitor or anything. If I use that mainly for my VR rig, obviously, but normally I could have just placed some cheap other or use the onboard graphics card if my CPU actually had graphics cards integrated, which it doesn't. But I could have just used my onboard graphics for desktop and everything, and then just as soon as I started the game, it would have gone through the VR headset directly through the graphics card. Even my
Oh boy,
stream
wasting a
PC,
lot from space.
yeah, pretty much. I still have space in the background. I wanted to look at what you have to pay to actually be able to play the game at the moment. Yeah,
Somewhere
basically
around $100 if I remember correctly.
$53.55. So they basically ask for full price and you get an alpha. I was actually
job.
a few years ago, up until maybe 2015 or so, I actually wanted to buy one of those packages to be able to play the game when it comes out with the special ship and stuff. Well, happy I did, yeah. Good thing I didn't. Yeah, the packages can go up to a few thousand, I think, or used to at least. I'm not sure if they have them still, but yeah. You can still. Okay, everybody who is stupid enough to pay that much, I hope they will never be able to play that game. Seriously. And if anybody has enough, how the fuck does anybody get enough money to just throw $1,300 at a fucking stupid game that is not released since 10 years? How? What do you have to do to earn that much money? I have no idea. I mean, I barely make that money in 2 months.
Did the suit on something like Wall Street?
Yeah. See, the thing is sometimes I see people who are pretty much obviously idiots. They cannot tell their ass from their face.
So,
And they have fucking money! How? Okay, so
a lot of those people who have money actually are scumbags.
yeah, that's one thing, yeah. I could be rich, but I'm not an asshole, so I mean I can be an asshole, but well, anyway. So yeah, $1,300. What do you get for that? You get an expedition ship, another expedition ship, a ground vehicle, another exploration ship, then a competition ship, and another exploration ship. Also contains Star Citizen digital download. Oh, you even get the game when you pay 1,300? Wow! Thanks for that information.
You will have the game if you pay $100.
You also get the game for 50, but you get the game in every package. Otherwise, the package would be kind of pointless. Why buy a package for a game if you don't get the game, right? It's not like a $10 pledge on Kickstarter.
There is something like I think it. Oh yeah, it used to be a. No, it's still an alpha. It used to be like $100, and then you'll get access to closed alpha. You'll get the game key if you pay less, but if you'll get something about $100, you could play closed alpha. I think it was like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that in a moment. What else you get is a hangar, which should also be part of every game. Character name reservation, no idea. You get Squadron 42 as well.
Oh, I get what the things with name reservation. You know that when you log into some kind of MMORPG thing, you're trying to get something like cool and hip, like Star Killer 61 or
Yeah.
69, funny sex number. And then you get the message, name already taken.
Mm.
I think that for that.
Maybe, who knows. What else? Lifetime insurance. Yes, you have to insurance your ships in the game. Otherwise, it's like Elite, not Elite, like Eve. If your ship is gone, well, it's gone for good. Awesome. And you get 20,000 space credits. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. The 50. Oh, you can pay 53 and only get Squadron 42, or you get the starter package, which doesn't include Squadron 42 anymore, which was actually announced to be part of Star Citizen. So they already scam you. Great shit. They said everybody who owns Star Citizen will also automatically have and get Squadron 42. You can get it solo, but every Star Citizen copy will have it included. Fuck you, Chris Roberts. Fuck you. You're
Is
just
this,
another piece of shit.
does this bundle actually has Star Citizen in it?
Yeah, Star Citizen digital downloads and 3-month insurance, 1,000 money to spend, and self-land hangar, whatever. You get a hangar.
Self-land hangar. You wouldn't be like with Elite Space Station.
I have no idea. That's also a self-land hangar. You get 6-month insurance, so you basically pay $25 for 3 months of insurance when you count it like that. Interesting. I don't know how it works in the game, but that's already pretty shit. Oh, here you get even a digital star map that you don't get for the 1300 package. Interesting. That's interesting. Or maybe it didn't show because that's kind of obvious that it should be included.
Well, it's actually not obvious that it can be included, and basically, if it's not listed in the package, that it basically not exists in the package.
Oh yeah, here in the 113 package you also don't get a map. I mean, at least it doesn't show it here. Well, that's some shit. Yeah, so let's just yeah, it's a scam. Don't get me wrong, but it's a scam. Everybody who invests in that.
Continue with our topic.
Yeah. No, it was private here. That's what I wanted to see. So yeah, don't invest in Star Citizen. It's not gonna go anywhere. I don't see that happen. Oh, the original privateer came before Wing Commander 4. Oh, okay. Huh. Wasn't that another? What privateer do I mean then? This one here? We had a game that was privateer here, but that was not that one. Huh. Ah, well. I could start No Man's Sky, but let's go back to this here. What else do we have? Space-like games. Kerbal Space Program. That's a game I definitely should and need to play. If you want to learn about space and space programs and what it takes to get into space, this is a freaking awesome simulation game.
Yeah, definitely, and that's basically what it was back then in the 60s. Like, how do we launch man into space? Well, Just take a big freaking bucket full of fuel and launch it as high as possible.
Yep, pretty much.
And
And
then just add more fuel, more fuel, more fuel, add more sections that can just shoot off back on Earth to make this rocket a little bit lighter and last longer.
yeah, and then realize that you cannot breathe out in space. And can you actually build a rocket and put one of the Kerbals on it and shoot him out in space to learn that you cannot breathe in space? How does it work? Did you play it?
You can launch a rocket into space and leave a Kerbal out of it and launch him into space. Yeah, but they always in space gear.
Ah, okay. Ah, damn. It would have been cool to have something like, oh, by the way, we can't breathe in space. It looks
Even
so
when
funny.
you don't leave the atmosphere, they always in the space gear.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, you have to draw a line somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It also represents our solar system, so
Yeah, and again, it's just a really cool, basically an exploration game
yeah. It
that
mixes
you can.
it mixes together a few genres.
Well, it is first and foremost, it's just a space simulator game.
Mm,
Even, but that includes the whole process, not just hi, I'm a space sim. We are starting in space. How we get here? Who cares?
yeah,
Here you basically should build from the ground a freaking space program.
yeah. Yeah, you basically invent everything you need to get off Earth. So
First to get off Earth, then to get to the moon, then to get from the moon,
see this.
and then to get beyond the our basically solar system.
Yeah, this price is a price I can live with. $10 on sale at the moment. But also, without the sale, this game is 6 years old and they ask for $40. Okay, it's Steam. We know that Steam is overpriced for games that are not new, even for new games sometimes. But $10 is definitely a great price for this game. And 25 for the whole freaking game with all expansions. That's also pretty good. And it doesn't matter if you buy the bundle or if you buy the DLCs and the game sold, it basically ends up at the same price. Which is kind of interesting. Normally the bundles are at least a few cents cheaper, but yeah, interesting game. I definitely need to play it more. I played it a bit off stream, or not off stream, offline, so it only shows less than half an hour, but yeah, definitely need to play that again. Friend of mine built so much stuff like vehicles, tanks, and you can build pretty much everything that you can come up with. I mean, you need a rover for the moon and things like that. So yeah, you can build vehicles and stuff, and some really crazy things that are not meant to be built in the game maybe. But yeah, this is a pretty nice game.
If it can fly or drive, that it meant to be built in the game.
Yeah, I've seen a few really funny things when stuff went wrong. Yeah, a friend of mine.
What can possibly go wrong if the big fuel tank start rotating with the speed, almost the speed of light?
Yeah, nothing. But yeah,
Only big bada boom.
big bada boom. Yeah, Fifth Element. Okay. Let's see what else do we have. Endless
If we're
Space.
talking about basically, let's say, exploration type of games, so I don't know, maybe Space Engineers.
Wait, I have that in here. Wait, here. Yeah, I need to play that again. The last time I played it, I was too tired. I didn't get it. It has a lot of stuff in it, and just got a new update, and I got a review key, including the DLC. So I get the whole freaking package. I have zero idea what to do. It's
Basically, a really bad description for this game is Minecraft in space.
yeah, exactly. That's just what I wanted to say. Yeah, it's yeah, Minecraft-like, but it's more about building yeah, space stations, spaceships and stuff like that.
Stations, spaceships, exploring planet, getting new materials, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Even though it made in more primitive level than in Kerbal Space Program, but still, you're basically a space pioneer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, again, I didn't play it that much and I was so tired, so it was quite confusing. You have
It is quite confusing.
there's a lot you can do, and when I remember it right, and again I was tired, so I didn't get half of it. There is no real full tutorial that kinda tells you how to build and craft stuff, and the building and crafting is needs to get some getting used to if you expect your easygoing crafting game.
I
So
played this game long time ago when it was in a free weekend state. And when I launched it the first time, it didn't have tutorial at all.
yeah, they updated it quite a lot, and it was in early access for a while. So you might have played the early access version.
Maybe. Or maybe an early release version. I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I wanted to have it for a while, and now I have it even on ignore, but I own it now, so just realized it's on ignore. I don't even know why.
And everything went to shit. Okay, it's back.
Yeah, it just refreshed for a moment. Open world sandbox game defined by creativity and exploration. So yeah, you can build small ships and get through fast, or yeah, basically have something like Battlestar Galactica if you want to. Single player, multiplayer.
Again, this game one of those games that shies in multiplayer more than in single player.
Yeah, I think so as well. With all the building
Because
stuff and
yeah, basically you can make a space fleet and perform dogfights.
yeah,
What the
there's a
term
lot of fighting and stuff that you can do in this game. And you actually see
Yeah,
other players without any issues, looking at you, No Man's Sky, which was multiplayer from the get-go.
good joke.
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah, multiplayer is there. Yeah, you can play with others. Oh, didn't we mention on release that you might not be able to find each other because the universe is so big and then people ended up on the same planets constantly? Yeah.
And on the same planet at at the same point.
Yeah, at the same point, and multiplayer was activated. It was supposed to be working, but yeah, nobody was there. So, oops, we lied. But yeah, the first thing they said, yeah, multiplayer is in there, but the universe is so big that chances are so low that two people will ever met somewhere because there are just billions of planets there.
Yeah, and two people just standing at the one place, streaming at the same time, talking to each other like,
Yeah.
yeah, what the shit?
And the thing is, I mean, I still today can find planets nobody else discovered yet. So that's pretty cool. But you also end up on a ton of planets that obviously have found already. I mean, the game is out for over 5 years, so. And the loading times of Space Engineers is pretty shit.
Well, it's basically generating the freaking universe.
Yeah, kinda. Generate it faster. It just needs to load. I played this game already. It was already done. Alright, where am... Oh yeah, oh, I know why I stopped to play the game, because I broke it. And I was so tired to freaking figure out how to fucking get out of here now. Yeah, I remember now. Oh, yeah, see, I'm kind of stuck in the ceiling here for some reason. The game does have its not so fun moments.
I think you should have some kind of disassemble tool that will help you get out of the system.
This is not a man-made. This is a pre-made area.
Oh.
It's not made by me, so. And
Well, we still can try disassemble tool if you have it.
How? That's the thing. I have no idea.
Just click on every freaking button until you open the inventory. It used to be in the freaking inventory.
Yeah, okay. Drill, grinder, welder. Ah! No!
I grinder.
I just placed a few things here. Oh, wait. Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh, wait, I'm still stuck. Ah! How am I still stuck? The fuck? There's nothing around me. I'm still stuck. Why am I still stuck?
The derp is strong in this one.
Wait, let me... P to change placement modes. How do I get out of this mode now? Ah! I'm free! What did I just destroy over there? I don't even know what it is. I have to start this game completely new because I seriously have no freaking clue what's going on in the game. Yeah, I'm in space. Kinda.
You destroyed the ship.
I destroyed something, yeah. It wasn't me! You told me to! Just...
Nah.
But yeah,
It was your imagination.
I have no idea what's going on in that area here. I don't remember what I did here. Seriously, I was way too tired to realize what I'm doing here. So yeah, Space Engineers. Interesting game if you want to build a lot of stuff and be creative. And
Again,
yeah.
the same thing about Kerbal Space Program. You build a lot.
But
why did you just fly away from this thing?
Kerbal Space Program does have a much more realistic physics, though. I mean, let's be honest, physics in this game here barely exists. I mean, if you accelerate like this, there's no way for me to just get back like this. There is no way. It takes forever to get down from 18...
First you must stop, then you must build the vector to another direction that you want to go.
Exactly, that's the thing. So there's no Newtonian law in here. Because let's be honest, 80... That's 110 meters per second. Meters! Not centimeters. Meters per second. That's fucking fast. There's no way you stop just like pushing a button. You're just going like that for kilometers until you stop. Then you can think about getting in the other direction.
Yes, and you actually must accelerate in another direction. You can't just turn off thrusters and you will be stopping.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how long my oxygen will hold. Looks like 100%. I'm not sure if am I in creative mode or something? I have no idea. I
Looks like it,
definitely need to play this game again.
because you're not burning fuel as well.
Yeah, looks like it, right? Well, you definitely have freedom of space to do whatever you want. Boing. See, doesn't even hurt me. Normally you would be dead. You would be a red dot on a freaking asteroid. That's what you would
Yep,
be.
and that asteroid would start moving the way that you
Hit it.
hit it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, kinda. With that size, you might not. It might not be noticeable, really.
It might be not noticeable, but even
After a few
from
years, maybe.
small impact, it would be. There would not be.
If it's stationary, definitely.
It wouldn't be counter force. He would start just moving that way.
Yeah, kinda. Depends on the initial velocity it has. But yeah, yeah. This is Space Engineers. I need to play it again. I'm really interested in exploring the space and building something, but yeah, I mean, you can see it already. It's that menu is already confusing as frick. So, but I might be in creative mode, so it's really weird. Okay, anyway, but yeah, you have everything in here from building ships to
You
explore space.
basically must be in creative mode because you actually need to use grinder to destroy stuff.
Yeah, grinder. There's another tool as well.
Drill for.
Drill and the welder, exactly.
I think drill for collecting ores and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's like a mining ship that just came out. Okay, that's an elevator to make an impressive entrance. It's like, I'm here. All right. Yeah, definitely need to do more here. Let's get rid of that ignored because that's kind of stupid. A game that goes a bit in the same direction is Hard Space Shipbreakers, where you actually do the exact opposite. You dismantle ships that are drifting in space, basically. So you get the materials from them. But okay, anyway, another exploration game which I still also need more is also a co-op game. You can play it with bots, but obviously more fun with real-life players. So you basically, it's a bit like Star Trek Bridge Commander, where 4 people command a ship, and everybody has its own occupation basically and job. So one is the captain, and the others are like tactical and things like that. I only played around an hour. It is pretty fun and interesting. Is it still in early access? I think no, it was in early access. Okay, so that's released. Since when is that released? Oh, June this year. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I got it as a gift from a friend. So I didn't really play it that much, but I should play that. And as far as I know, yes, it supports VR as well, so you can play it with or without VR and cross-play as well. So I can play with VR and others don't need it. It's actually 1 to 5 players. 5 is the maximum. But you can play it offline as single player with bots. Obviously not the same, but yeah. That's a game I definitely need to play more. That's all about exploring space. I think there's not really crafting anything in the game. I mean, at least
If I understand the game correctly, there is some kind of crafting in it. Basically, scientific stuff. and maintaining your ship.
Yeah, repairing and stuff, but it's not like you're building ships and stations and stuff like that. There's actually nothing about crafting at all here. Loot planets and
Yeah, I think
stations.
I'm mixing game then.
Yeah, you can loot stuff for items and things, yes, but it's more yeah, that's basically breaking it down. Fast-paced and tactical ship-to-ship space combat. So yeah, it's more about exploration and dogfights and stuff. A bit like when you play Elite Dangerous in a non-trader kind of way. Like,
If we're talking about games like Elite Dangerous and X, you basically must be not just a trader.
I mean, you can.
You can, but Pirate's not going to ask you
Yeah,
if you are a trader or not.
yeah, that's true. I mean, you do have to protect yourself. But you do that differently as a trader as you would do it in a non-trading position, basically.
Basically, well, yeah, basically your ship a little bit more squishy than when you
Okay,
have a fighter jet or something like that.
and now this game was cheaper in early access, obviously, but it's on sale for $16.79 now, and regularly costs basically $21. For a game that is capable of cross-play with VR and non-VR, space exploration, and single player or up to 5 people co-op, I would say that's too cheap. This is a game they could easily sell for $30 with the amount of stuff you get and content you get just from that. You do have to keep in mind this is not high-end, super fancy graphics, so it's more reduced and comic style. It goes a bit in the direction of No Man's Sky, actually. No Man's Sky is also not super realistic. So yeah, but I have to play it. I have to play it more. I might actually stream it at single player for a while to get used to it. Because yeah, we were playing it with 3 people, I think, and 1 knew it, 2 didn't. So hey, I do this, do that. Where? Where's my station?
Just do it!
Yeah, where's my station? Okay, I mentioned. Oh, here. Okay, that's the next game that kind of fits in here. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Bridge Crew. Bridge Commander is a tactical game. Bridge Crew is basically what it says. You're on a spaceship of the Federation, either the new one or the older ones, and you have, I think, 4 classes. Is it 4 players? I think it's 4 players. It's also cross-play, so you can play with any VR system, even with the PlayStation. And it's so funny when you... Okay, I have to reactivate the cam for that here real quick. It's so funny because depending on your VR system, your hands can do more or less things. And
Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
so the PlayStation basically can do this. I think that's it. You can grab, and I think you can point or so. Then the HTC Vive back then could also do thumbs up, I think, and open your hand and point or something like that. Me with the Oculus, I can do basically everything besides single finger movement. So if you see somebody like this, and that's Oculus, and you could always tell you could always tell who the PlayStation guy was because that was the one who was getting sad not to have that capability. It was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Oh well, yeah, at least you can see it in VR. But this is fun. I played that for I have almost 7 hours in this game already. I played that with a friend and it's hilarious. Because yeah, one is the captain, the other's tactical or weapons, whatever. And if you don't know that game in VR, and in my case, I have to grab the sliders and stuff and push buttons to shoot things, and if you didn't pull up the shield, well, you could shoot, but you had no shield, and it was so funny when my friend was like, "Shield! Shield! Get the shield up!" And I was like, how? Fuck. Yeah. I know how to shoot. Pew pew. But and this is a lot of fun. And I think it's actually yeah, it's playable in non-VR now as well. No idea how that actually works because I guess you just move a mouse cursor. I don't know, because it's kinda it has to do with haptical inputs and stuff, so but this is a fun game. Costs only $10. $10, definitely worth it. 25? Yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Definitely not for VR. For non-VR for 25.
No, that's no 25 for if you want to play it in VR, 25 is okay, I think. But non-VR, since I have no idea how that it would actually play, you don't get that much. I mean, you get the bridge, that's it, and you get some fights outside of the screen. You cannot get on planets, you cannot trade with anybody, you're not buying stuff, you're not selling stuff, you're not upgrading anything. It's basically pew 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 and next to the next pew pew pew. You do have kind of story and stuff in it, but
In a
yeah,
way, it's an interesting experience because basically you piloting the biggest ship.
yeah. If you
That's too freaking big to be controlled by one person.
yeah, you have to be a fan of Star Trek to pay $25, I think. It's not a bad game. I mean, it is a lot of fun. In VR, it is a lot of fun because yeah, you can be in the original Enterprise or the newer edition of it that came out a few years ago, the reboot. So that for fan, it's awesome. And I'm a Trekkie, so sitting in the freaking Enterprise is fucking awesome. But if you're not a fan and don't have VR, yeah, I think 15 to 20 might be a better price point. But the $10, it's definitely worth $10. You definitely get out a few hours of fun. And I played it for almost 7 hours, and I will play it again. I wanted to get the next generation bundle, but well, it is on sale now as well. Because I'm
It's a little bit sad that this game contains only fighting.
yeah, I mean you can try diplomacy, I think, but it's mostly yeah, fighting and have tactical fights basically because it depends when you when you use your phasers or when you use your photon torpedoes and stuff like that. So it is tactical dogfighting. But yeah, you should be a Star Trek fan. If you're not into Star Trek, this is not the game for you. So you can play patrols and stuff, but yeah, random events and challenges, it's mostly fights, yeah. I don't remember anything else from it. So yeah, since you also cannot get on the planet or anything, it's
Again, it's a shame, specifically because Star Trek was not just fighting.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's yeah, I mean when it comes to multiplayer games or fun in games, I mean it's more fun to blow up stuff in space than not.
It is to people who play Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, well, that's different. Completely different game, completely different concept. Not even close to VR. Wouldn't even work. It could work in VR, but okay. Well, what else do I
I
have?
don't know if we're going to talk about exploration as well. Well, I think what worth mentioning is basically something like yeah, okay, surviving Mars as well.
And it's
Basically, I was thinking about the book Martian.
Mhm.
The Martian.
Yeah, I thought some more strategy, tactical kind of game might also make sense because it is kinda in space. I mean, Mars is
Well, it is in space. You're basically colonizing Mars.
yeah, pretty much, but you're not in space. I mean, you're somewhere in space, but you're not flying around or so in space. So it's not.
It's still part of space romance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say it this
Somewhere
way.
far away from Earth, even though it's just Mars, it's still a big leap for us to get to Mars.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Even to get to Mars. We're not talking about colonizing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we too might actually see the news when the first person steps on Mars. That might that I guess that happens in our
This
lifetime.
current economical system? No way.
Yeah, colonizing that, then no, definitely not.
Not even not the first person matters. With capitalism, no.
You know, with people as crazy as he might be, but I think Elon Musk is pushing a lot in that direction. I mean,
He is pushing a lot into something stupid, but yeah, maybe he'll be crazy enough to say we're going to develop in this direction.
yeah, I mean, he wants to go to Mars. And the thing that will help in the future with colonizing any planet will be 3D printing. 3D printing will be the way they will build bases and stuff on Mars. Concepts and prototypes and everything is already done and in the making. So it's
Still, the biggest problem is even for 3D printing to get materials to
yeah,
build
they
from
already
those.
work on that to either um, bring some of the material as powder to be made into the compound that you need, or to have some kind of a way to use Mars. Whatever you find on Mars that you might be able to make into something like concrete or so.
Well, basically, for that, you need a geological expedition.
Pathfinder, for example. I mean, they are looking for rocks and minerals and things like that.
You don't need just something that you can find on top of Mars. You need to make.
Yeah, but that's when that's when the first pioneers are on Mars and live in the first sorry, in the first buildings
Yeah,
that
okay.
they can print out of the shit they bring with them. They don't need to
Yeah,
get everything.
definitely it's some kind of pioneer base when they live like, the fuck am I even doing here?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you
People already living like this beyond the polar circle,
um
specifically
they
on
they had
science
they had a
stations.
contest a few years ago. I'm not sure at what point they are now. They were looking for the first persons to go to Mars, and they have their team of volunteers who will leave Earth forever. It's a
Yeah,
one-way
I'm
ticket.
going to tell you even more. Every country have a lot of space uh, astronauts that basically trained for working beyond the Earth. So we don't need volunteers. First, people who will be on Mars in colonization is basically people who will be trained for that, and not just some randoms who
Oh,
think that
they are all
Earth's done.
oh they will
I mean, people who trained in really specific things like engineering, geological stuff, specifically
it
builders and stuff like that.
it has more to do with building a society kind of thing, I think. It's
Yeah, it's too early for that. First base should be specifically only scientific base. And from
Well,
that, we're going to build
everybody who will go there will be
civil.
trained. You don't send a freaking clerk or a backpacker who is a moron to Mars. I mean, that we don't have to talk about that.
Alien Covenant origin.
There was
What was the name?
there was a challenge system they had to go through. So a moron went out on the first round right away. Somebody who is an idiot is not even getting close to round 2, not even to round 1. So they made sure they have people in there who can bring something to the table. But I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure how many people really, even scientists and stuff, want to go on a one-way trip.
You know, it's basically
So you
even
need
flying
volunteers.
beyond Earth's atmosphere was like it's a one-way trip. But again, I'm going to
Now, if they
Soviet Union. We had our space program, and not everyone was interested in going into space, but people who was interested in going into space, they were interested in going into space because that a big freaking leap for humanity. For it's not just to bring our own personal fame. It's not for bringing basically. I don't know how to explain it. Well, it's basically they went
They didn't just
beyond
do it for
because
publicity, but
yeah,
also
yeah,
those people don't just do it for publicity. If I would decide to go to Mars, I know it's a death. It's just a death right. It's just a matter of time when you will die there. You will not get get to become 80 or something when you go to Mars now when you're 40 or so. I don't believe that because there are so many problems and there will be so many troubles, accidents, errors, whatever. Shit will fail. I mean, if you have to live on that planet, The Martian might just be a movie or a book, but it's not totally unrealistic what's going on in that movie.
yeah. And
So yeah,
unlike a lot of things that called science fiction, Martian is a science fiction.
yeah. But everything that was once science fiction in a book is science reality now. So it's just a matter of
I'm
time.
mostly referring to current science fiction status, where a lot of loony thing called science fiction, even though that people who used to write science fiction, they used to base their novels on our current level of technology and just extrapolated it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you cannot. It's kind of hard to come up with something without any basis.
Again, Alien Covenant, Prometheus, what was the last Predator movie. A lot was just pulled out of the ass.
What do you mean? Because there's an alien life form in there?
No, in some specific ways. Uh,
Prometheus, for example, since that is the pre-story of Alien, I mean, they in the original Alien, because Prometheus came out only a few years ago, so you have to take an older movie because a lot of stuff what is in Prometheus that we can't do today. The holographic style, okay, we can't do that.
Holographics actually is possible.
Yeah,
No
not like
matter
that.
what Cameron said, holographics is possible and it's currently in development.
Yeah, but it's not possible that way. As you see it in the movies, that's impossible. It is not possible. You cannot create light particles in a three-dimensional space and have it in front of you. That's at this point that's impossible.
At this point,
Holograms
it
are
is impossible, yeah.
yeah, holograms are possible and they work. I mean, Tupac was live on stage a few years ago and he's dead for over 20 or so. Um, and he looked real, but it needs a system of mirrors and a special kinda cloth where it gets projected on. I played a holographic game in the what was it? Early 90s where you had it was also a table and on the table you had something like um like a dome, and in that dome I think you had two mirrors or something, and the projector played the game onto that, and it was basically you had a small area like this from the top, and it was like a western shooter or so you played a real person as a hologram. It looked basically like the chess game in Star Wars. That's basically, or Leia when R2D2 is playing that holographic message from her. That's kinda how that game looked like. And no matter where you looked from the side, you could go around the whole freaking thing and see it from whatever angle you looked at it. It didn't turn with the view or anything. No, it was in the middle and it looked like you could touch it. I mean, there was a dome, so there was no way to really see or do anything or have it shine on your hand or something. But you were basically playing a holographic VMF game. It was hard as fuck. Holy shit, I didn't get far, but it looked insane. Back then, we didn't have phones with cameras, so I have no pictures of that, and I don't remember the name anymore. But that was basically the first time I saw a moving hologram, because normally a real hologram is 2D laser picture basically. But the closest we get to holograms these days is um, augmented reality with glasses. That's the closest we get to holograms these days.
Yes, again, these days. And it's not like it's not getting developed into something bigger and something more accessible.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not like when Cameron said that this shit is impossible, and it's yeah, no, basta, it's impossible. Basically, science just shown Cameron that yeah, bitch, we're waiting for an apology.
yeah, the thing is, somebody said um, something is only impossible as long until somebody comes along who figures it out. I mean, back in the day, a lot of stuff was impossible, um, which
That's
is
true.
which is normal
If
today.
if we talk again, if I'm gonna return to topic of father of Soviet rocket program, specifically Korolev, he in 30s he worked on uh, rockets that can pick the target.
Hmm.
Even he worked on that thing, even though he and everyone around him knew that that was impossible at the current state of technology, and not just in Soviet Union, but in the world. He still worked on that project.
Yeah, it's if you're visionary, or if you, I mean, the biggest visionary of all times, and I think nobody will ever get close to that person, was Da Vinci. Da Vinci invented machines and things that were invented hundreds of years after he died, like a tank that could shoot in 360 degrees, um, parachute, helicopter. We still didn't fully figure out the freaking Mona Lisa, which is basically not just a picture that you see, but he painted it several times on the same freaking canvas. So we can see that now with radiation technology and all that kind of stuff. But Da Vinci was so far ahead, and I think we wouldn't be on the same medical level and anatomical level, biology wise, when it comes to humans, if Da Vinci wouldn't have gone so far over any rules and laws that
Well, basically, Da Vinci is a science fiction writer of his era.
um yeah, kinda, if you see it like that. I mean, when it comes to medicine, he was I mean, today you would call him what's it called? Like a grave dig? No, not a grave digger. You know, somebody who gets people out of their grave to I don't know. He did that. He got corpses that were buried. He needed dead people to cut them open to see where the freaking muscles are attached. Where's this? Where's that? Oh, look, we have two kidneys or stuff like that. Most of
Actually, a lot of stuff was known even in ancient Greece because they were not
I,
living in
yeah, but I'm talking
Middle
about.
Age. Yeah, they
I mean,
didn't
yeah, when
live
you
in Middle Age. Just.
yeah, when you cut somebody open, you know what's inside and stuff. But he was, as far as I know, he was the first who. A lot of anatomical drawings are still used today. They're hundreds of years old, but there's no reason to make new ones. He made them perfect back then. And he was the first documenting and illustrating all that stuff. So
And
that's the difference, I
again,
think.
no for one thing and no for another. So I'm not sure specifically about uh, anatomical part, but I know for sure that embryos was known for far beyond Da Vinci. Uh,
I'm talking about a freaking
internal
of the
organs
muscular
of
system, the muscular
yes,
system of a
muscular, yes.
yeah, not child. It doesn't. Nobody cares for the muscles of a
I mean internal organs and something like that.
child.
Muscles, yes. I think it's he was the wonderful,
That's what I mean.
at
The
least one of
the
the time. Yeah.
anatomy of a human adult, not of a child. I mean, of an adult, of a grown up um, person. I mean, male or female, he cut open both, I think. So, um, yeah. So yeah, and he even did stuff like that. That's a fetus in I don't know what the English term for that is. Well, still in the mother, so he dissected a lot of people back in the day.
Um, um, I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
I don't know. Why is it even a German wiki? I never used a German wiki because in most cases it doesn't have that many infos in it. Is there nothing related directly to the science and inventions? Yeah, well, that's a different topic for another time. But just to show one.
Well, if we're going to talk about, we can also mention that skin was, yeah, basically skin that was. Well, we can see skin all the time. It was described only in 20th century. In the end of 19 or start of 20, I don't remember exactly. During this time, one one surgeon just figure out the layers of the skin. So it's not like we know even our own bodies for 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we just basically found out the genomes of the brain not too long ago, and we still don't know fully how the brain works. And
That's true.
that might still take a while to figure that out fully. I mean, we get better and better, and we do know what parts do what and things like that. So, if you have a brain surgery or something, um, you're normally awake. So you have to read stuff, you have to read numbers, you have to answer questions and stuff. So they know if they work on a tumor or something on your open skull in your brain, they know directly if you start to answer slower or cannot say the word or something, that they have to be careful because they're about to do shit there. So, or they just did something that might be irreparable. So yeah, that's the reason why normally on a brain surgery you're fully awake. You're basically lying there while they're in your freaking head. Literally, they're in your head.
I think there is not a lot of things that can feel pain.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your brain doesn't feel pain at all. Not one single bit.
But
Zero.
this shooter is proceeding pain.
Yeah, I mean, you would feel it if somebody hits your head, but as long as they are in here, they can do whatever they want. You will not feel that. Even without anesthetics or anything. That's the dangerous thing about the COVID tests, where they put the Q-tip up your nose that far. I talked to a doctor, and that's about this far away from the wall to your brain. If the guy who does the test only goes a centimeter too far, he's in your brain. You will not feel that. You feel the bad sensation when they get in your sinuses or something, but when they puncture your brain, you will not know that. You will know that a few days after when you die on the brain bleeding, but you will not feel that.
People used to be lobotomized.
I'm happy that I didn't do that test. I did a private test at home, and it only goes up here, and even that is kinda shit because you have to turn that thing 5 times around and then do it in the other side, do it as well, and it's not pleasant, but it's only halfway up, so the other one is all the way up. So no, I'm halfway vaccinated, so I don't care for freaking tests or anything. Okay, anyway, the other game that I wanted to, what was that game now? Oh yeah, since we showed Wing Commander earlier, might as well just show X-Wing, which came out in 97, quite a while after Wing Commander. And I think the next time, because yeah, we're getting to the end slowly, I think the next time we go mainly for space horror, because that's such a huge genre that we can fill hours with that alone.
Yeah, I figured out that it's going to be a freaking huge one as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about around 60 years of development in games and stuff. So,
Well, specifically, not only in games, because mention of Martian, specifically how it was started and stuff like that.
yeah, but first game was, what was it, 62? 61 was Gagarin in space. So, yeah, we're
Yep.
basically spanning those 60 years.
And again, if we're going to talk about space exploration and about visionary guys, we also can mention Pan Stanislav Lem and his Solaris.
Is the game out that's named that way based on it?
No, there is no games like that. The last thing that was based on that book was movie with Mel Gibson, and this movie is shit.
Solaris was not with Mel Gibson. Which movie? It is called
I
Solaris,
think
right?
that it's not the same way, not the same thing. Solaris is basically about.
Oh, there are two films. Oh, okay, I didn't know. I just knew the one from 2002 then.
Yeah,
George Clooney
there
was in
is.
that one. Ah,
Oh shit. Okay.
George Clooney. That
So basically,
close.
Stanislav Lem said that this movie is pure garbage.
Okay. Then it is loosely based on the novel, I guess, because it says here it is based on the 61 science fiction novel of the same name.
It's based on the science fiction novel of the same name in the way that they took the base premise of that book and basically that things happen on the space station. That's all.
Hmm.
I think that this movie actually doesn't have a happy ending. Book doesn't have happy ending either, but it's not happy ending in the other way. For its book have happy ending in a way that science got new data that they can now analyze and bring new people into discover of the universe and specifically Solaris.
Yeah,
But
basically
when it
happy ending in the big picture, but a shit ending for the small individuals who will provide the data for the others.
yeah, specifically for the main character, because when he arrived to the station, his mentor was dead. Well, his previous mentor. And he will basically, when he arrived, everything had gone loony at the station, just right before he arrived.
Oh, the original movie was from Moscow? Okay,
Now,
yes.
Tarkovsky at that way at this year, Tarkovsky was lived already outside Union.
Wait, in 72?
I think yes.
72 was still the Soviet Union, right?
Still yes, but Tarkovsky lived outside Soviet Union.
Does that matter where he lived? He's just directed it. I mean, it was produced in the Soviet Union, so it doesn't matter where the director lives, right? I mean, the movie is not based on the director's countries, but on the country where it's actually originated from,
I'm not sure. I'm not
right?
remember correctly this thing.
I is that originally closer to the book then?
How should I put it? When movie of 2002 came out, so Lem said something like, "I thought that Tarkovsky was complete moron with his adaptation of my book, but when this movie came out, I can say that Tarkovsky was a genius.
Yeah.
He at least understood the book."
Okay, so the new one is so shit that the old one looks good in comparison.
Old one is good anyway, but it's a bad adaptation. It
Okay.
has the ideas, it has the place, it has the situation, but as far as I know, it different in places in the story at all.
Okay. Funny. It came out 2011 as a Blu-ray. Okay.
And to summarize the Solaris, it's basically the story about one big planetoid that basically just by its own existence burned the whole mm, discipline in science that have his own that has own professors that has own well basically budget that has own crews and a lot of books written just because of existence of that planetoid that can't be explained by any other part of science. It's
Okay.
basically a story about something that beyond our imagination. And if we'll make the first contact, it doesn't mean that the first thing that we see going to be uh, in in any way something that we can imagine. It can it might not be green aliens, it might not be insects, it might not be humanoids with cat ears, it might not be even blue skin things, orcs, elves. It might be something that just exists.
Yeah.
Exist on impossible orbit, exist in a way that it's not contacting with outside world. It's just there, and it has some process that happened on him. But when you get in contact with that thing, it might get interested in you as well, and it might get and he might not because of ill will or something like that make you lose some screws.
Yeah, I mean, we have a shit ton of animals on our own planet, which we don't know much about or didn't even see yet. And I've seen stuff where you, if I wouldn't know that would be a real picture, I would say, yeah, okay, nice CGI. Somebody was really creative there. But holy shit, nature is so fucking creative. You see stuff where you're like,
Yeah,
what? But yeah, something when it comes to aliens and the thing about imagination and stuff. Um, Star Trek has a character called Q. Q lives basically in the quantum reality.
mm,
So can be anything at any time at any place basically. It's like the super universe that is can control everything basically. So they're kind of godlike and he can do anything he wants. He is like a god. So um, that's the one thing that I personally could imagine that God God it might be a being that we cannot figure out because it's not living in our understanding of time and space. Um, so there might be beings that have their own society or whatnot, and we might consider them as God because yeah, they have no body maybe or something like that, but are capable of things that we cannot explain. So back in the day, if as long as we couldn't explain things like space, the stars and comets, whatever, that the
let's also not forget that in the end of 50s and at the start of 60s there was a huge uh, counter space exploration religious I don't know how to say that. Let's just say push. That there is basically nothing out there, and don't anger God with your flights on his backyard.
yeah, I mean back in the day they thought it's like a like a cloth or a curtain or something with holes in it. So we know more now.
Yeah,
We did see a lot of our own solar system, and in a few decades we might exit it and see stuff from somewhere else actually. I mean that's so weird when you see different galaxies and stuff, and there's a galaxy, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But there are sizes and distances. I heard something lately. Oh my god, somebody talking about space and flat Earth and shit like that, and he was like, "Why don't you ever see a picture with the real distances?"
Uh,
Um, uh,
all this distance from us to what? It's
no,
basically billions of years.
yeah, to sun it's like what was it, 93 million light years or something like that. It's was it no kilometers? 93 kilometers?
Give me a second.
Some, it's fucking far away. How the frick are you supposed to take a picture where all planets are all planets are never on one line? That's number one to begin with. That happens, I think, every 5,000 years or something like that, where you have basically all planets in one line at the same time. I think that just happened a few hundred years ago. So I'm not sure about
Well,
that.
you can kinda make this shit, but you need to be an astronomer.
Yeah, besides that, I mean, also when they always brag about, hey, why is NASA not just taking a picture of Earth? Yeah, because we have to be away from Earth a shit ton of distance to bring it in one picture. Otherwise, we're just too close. And from the moon, yeah, you can take pictures from the whole world, no problem. One picture from one side. That's it. And then you have to wait. And
Middle distance from Sun to Earth is 149.5 million kilometers.
yeah, okay, then it was miles, what they said. Yeah, that's a nice trip. Takes a while to get there.
Yeah, like several thousands of weekends.
Oh yeah, yeah. You should bag a lot of books and a shit on. I mean, you could you could finish your Steam library. I mean, you might be dead when you get there,
You
but
should play those games. I don't think that beyond our inhabited space, you'll get a lot of Wi-Fi coverage.
I'm curious. Is how good is Google Maps? I I have a stupid thought right now. Can we place can we plan a route from Earth to Sun? Ah, well, no, it doesn't take that. I need Google Earth for that. In Google Earth, I think it actually works. That would have been cool though. By foot, that distance, by car and by plane. That would actually be really funny. Wait, how long does it take to get there? It would take 1.4 million hours to drive there at 65 miles per hour. So it would be 59,000 days to drive there. 163 years if you just hop into your flying car and get out there and be like, okay.
You can just get into a space gear and fart your way that direction.
Pretty much, yeah, or just get out of the ISS and
Just don't get on the way of other planets, or you will be slightly off target.
yeah, being a human being at 65 miles, I think gravity from anything will just pull you to it. Oh, look, there's a comet. Oh shit, gravity. So yeah, that's kind of yeah. You actually would be faster if you would get to the ISS. Wait until it's in the right position in orbit, and then just push away from that. You would be faster. I mean, you have a few thousand kilometers of speed then.
You can be even faster if you'll take.
A freaking rocket and just fly there.
No, I thought about several thousand bottle of champagne.
Okay, so um, in a rocket it would be tenth the time. So about 16 years. Okay. No, oh wait, what? No, even less. No. Okay, from here to sun would be 222 days. What? That seems to be too
That's
close.
a lot of weekends.
Yeah, but I mean, you can go there and not get back into
And
this.
just there.
Just there. You can get there and yeah, enjoy. Take you should have a sun blocker of about 10 million or so at least. Maybe more.
Diving suit.
Yeah, you need a diving suit that's actually capable of because the floor is lava. Literally, kinda. It's not really lava. I saw a video. Somebody was like, "Hey, why is the sun burning? Fire needs oxygen." Yeah, the sun is not burning. It's a freaking. It's a
It's a
freaking.
light source, but
Yeah, no, it's a reactor basically.
yeah. Well, you basically can't say that.
That's Fukushima in space, still in action, or Chernobyl, still in action. The core exploded and the reaction continues. That's the sun. It's a nuclear reaction. A never-ending nuclear I mean, yeah, it will end in a few million years, or... Yeah, something like that. When is the sun actually...
Yeah, we'll not be there to see it.
When is the sun going to die? About 5 billion years. So, yeah, okay, we have some time. Until that point, it will
It's
get
going to
hotter.
be white giant before that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that will be... Holy shit, yeah. I mean, it's already kinda big. Kinda.
Yeah, we still have a couple of million years.
Yeah. I mean, we have time, but yeah, I think in 50 years from now, if you go outside in the sunlight without 100 plus sun blocker, you will be burnt in 10 minutes. It already burns you so fast. It's when I see blonde people, I mean I'm dark blonde, but I'm naturally tanned. I always have a tan the whole year basically. So I don't get sunburn at all. And I still need 50 plus sun blocker. I use it because I don't want to be yeah, getting all over skin cancer. And this here, this is gonna grill us. It does already. I mean, back in the day when I was a child, yeah, you put a little bit of sun cream on you to first to not have dry skin and as a teenager to get in touch with girls. But now you need it to not kill yourself. And people don't realize it. I already see so many people, they don't freaking care. They're red and they're like, oh yeah, it's just a sunburn. Oh, it gets better. Yeah, every sunburn is basically one step to cancer. But yeah, the sun, the center of our universe. And yes, we are spinning around sun and not the sun around Earth. Looking at
Yeah.
you, moron, flat earthers. and
It's kind of strange that people still think that sun rotating around Earth, even though ancient Greeks already said that Earth circling around sun.
yeah, and that the sun is and that Earth and pretty much every planet or moon or whatever in space is round and a sphere. It's not flat. I just saw a video earlier. One guy was like showing the map of Earth, and the map of Earth that we see in a two-dimensional representation is not exactly what it looks like on the freaking round globe, because the round globe is a 3D object, so the map gets kind of distorted and stuff. And one guy was like, hey, when you fly from New York to Moscow, you fly like this. Yeah, because it's projected on a freaking round Earth. And then he was like, hey, but on a flat Earth, it would be just a straight line. Why don't we fly in a straight line? Yeah, because if you draw a straight line on a three-dimensional map, it's not a straight line anymore. but the curved line on a 2D map that is meant for a three-dimensional object is pretty much a straight line from freaking New York to Moscow. It's a fucking straight line. You cannot fly any straighter than that. And you touch a few other countries, obviously. It's not like you're flying to those countries. Oh, let's fly to Newfoundland or whatever to just take the scenic route, so people who fly from New York to Moscow see a few other countries. I mean, I was flying
Also,
over.
let's not forget about the planes that we're not using right now, but that we used even in 80s and 70s. They had some really nasty problem, like we need to get fuel or we're going to die.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why some flights go only in one direction. I mean, they're flying the same way
couple of
because
countries with the stopping point for in other country.
no, I mean, you do have certain winds in certain heights around Earth, and they're basically constant. So they use the backwind basically to save fuel and get further with less problems. So
Yeah.
in some directions you might take longer time, but you're actually taking the better route. Otherwise, you would have to take a stop in between, for example, to refuel, which you wouldn't need if you just fly in the other direction.
Also, there is stuff like air corridors when every single air company that have airplanes must talk with every individual country and say, hey, we want to have an air corridor in your country. Okay, you're gonna fly like this, and this space you're gonna alter around that, or we're gonna shut you.
Yeah, but that's mostly affected for national flights. Like if you fly in the USA over Nevada,
International.
yeah, but they're not that. Yeah, it depends what areas. Sure, if you fly over war zones, like I don't know, uh, where we have wars right now, but let's just call those typical countries.
2013, never forget.
Yeah, I mean,
Specifically, how I think Malaysian plane was
yeah, flight
shut down
472 or
in
so.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, obviously, why would any plane company send a plane over there when they already know, hey, something got shut off? No, let's take a slight
Take a
different way.
scenic route.
Yeah, let's take the scenic route and let them shoot down somebody else, not us. Okay, let's be somebody else. And yeah, you're not allowed, or where you will never see a plane fly over is directly over the North Pole, for example, because you would just lose orientation because all your instruments would go like compass. Not. Where's north? Wait, this.
Compass, altimeter, level.
Yeah.
Everything would be like, where am I?
In what
What am I
direction?
doing here? What is life?
In what direction do I should show you south now? South is everywhere from here. The fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's a whole different story now. But yeah, I've seen. I was flying over Greenland. I was flying over Canada, and I only wanted to get to California. So I've seen Canada from above. Oh, hello Canada, bye Canada. And the funny part is, I was even flying over the town that I was supposed to go to. No, I had to fly through freaking San Francisco to only drive 2.5 hours. It's not far. It's right around the corner. For US standards, yeah, 200 plus kilometers is up. It's just around the corner. I was sleeping the whole freaking drive. I was done from flying.
Half a day from one city to another in Siberia is around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the distance is over there. This is also crazy. I think you can drive a few hundred kilometers in some parts and not see anything related to any humans, not a building or anything.
Yeah, you can only see a animal shit that basically marking a road.
Here's my poop. Don't be here. I'm a bear. I'm big. I eat you. Go away.
Or just don't get out of the car.
I'm the reason why nobody lives here. It's bear country here. Bear country. Okay, well, but okay, now we're definitely getting away. Next time we maybe should, besides talking about horror games, we should maybe try to make it a 1.5, maximum 2 hour stream, and then finally start playing Deep Space, Dead Space, maybe.
We can. What we can do? We can.
Because I have it installed for a long time already.
Same thing. We can talk 2 hours about Dead Space and the last third segment push to another time.
Or like this.
I mean about horror games.
Yeah, we will see. We will see, I guess. But yeah,
Our
it's
plans never work out.
plan? What plan? Do we have plans? Yeah, we had a plan to start on time. We kind of managed that to do that, so that's fine. But yeah, another 3 hour freaking cast discussion stream thingy. The name
And then
will.
just the third part or something that should be one part.
Yeah, but I think if we take a topic and want to get through a topic completely without the need to split it off, we need to start a few hours earlier to make that happen for you. We would need to start at 6 a.m. my time or so, so we kind of get closer to the end at 3 p.m. my time. So we if we would plan our podcast with a time between 4 to 6 hours, I think we might get through most of them in one part.
Still going over the time.
And for some reason, I think more people should listen to that shit, you know? It's not like I mean, we take a topic, we kinda go around that topic a little bit and never get distracted in any other directions or rant for minutes or so. So it's so unpredictable what we do that I think it might be actually interesting for people, because it's not like other podcasts or talk shows or whatever where okay, they start with that, then they go their
What
way.
those two idiots about this time?
Yeah, and it will be from until then done. No, that's just not us. I think the shortest one was 1.5 hours or so. No,
Shortest one was when we just started.
yeah, we started
It
and
was one of the first one.
technically we had some technical issues. No, that's not too long ago with technical issues where we actually had to stop it after half an hour or so.
Oh yeah.
The first was also, yeah, we planned the first for an hour and 1.5 and ended up ranting for 3 hours about Epic Games. So
Still recently rented about Epic Games.
and
Something about half an hour or more.
it still pisses me off that that very first one is gone. By the way, nice new game on Epic for free.
I'm not on Epic anymore. You know the story.
Yeah, I just mentioned it for
Yeah, okay.
my bot watching us right now. Okay, well,
It's actually me.
let me start that song in the background. Oh, Brick Game. Oh, I know that. I know that handheld. I know that.
Yeah, that was my Game Boy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you had the best known Russian game of all time on that thing. What else did you need than Tetris? I'm sorry, Brick Game.
that works predictably and not have 10 variations of Tetris with question, will it be a classic Tetris or it's going to be one of those modifications?
The new one that I played not too long ago on Xbox Game Pass, it's actually pretty fun. It's a pretty nice game. It
I still miss classic Tetris.
yeah, yeah, you just don't need anything else for hours of fun with that game. I mean,
Yeah,
it's training your hand-eye coordination and tactical thinking and stuff, and it's
on
just
my level that.
and it's easy to get into. It's one of those games really easy to get into, but really hard to master. At some
Yeah.
levels, it gets so fucking fast when you see speedrunners and pros play Tetris. It's insane. I don't even see the freaking blocks and they place them. I mean, I think they play more with the side thingy where it actually shows you the next block than with the actual screen where the game is played. But seriously, sometimes it's like, and I'm like, what? I can maybe realize where it lands if the line is not completely going away right away because the second block already dropped. So it's insane. Tetris Championship is a whole different level. They're crazy. You're crazy. You're a Tetris player, Pro. You're crazy. The same crazy as people who play with that freaking Rubik's cube over there. Also a Russian invention, isn't it? Rubik was also Russian, right?
I'm not sure. Let's me check.
Or was he from Poland? Somewhere from the east.
No.
Don't drink that freaking Pepsi anymore. It's lukewarm. God damn it. Tastes like piss.
Hungary.
Hungary. Yeah, okay. Hungary. Yeah. Hungary. He also did a lot of weird stuff. Not just a cube there. All right. Well, let me play
He's
that.
76-year-old.
Who? Rubik's?
Erno Rubik.
Yeah.
Man who created that thing.
He was an architect and
Inventor.
that's interesting. Where's the other thing? Oh, this here, the Rubik's Magic. Oh my god. I hated that. And when you see how the solution is, you're face palming so hard. Forget about folding that shit. You have to turn the plates in. That's crazy. I hate you! No, you're cool. Cool guy. Really inventive. Crazy, but really inventive. I mean, he did a shit ton of those Rubik's thingies. So, yeah.
I tried to solve the pyramid.
Yeah, I think I saw that once. Oh wait, it actually shows all of those. Mini cube, Professor cube. Yeah, okay, 5 by 5. I think the maximum I saw was 16 by 16 Rubik's cube or so.
I saw a lot more, but it was actually really segmented with stuff like holy shit, how you should ever put that shit together.
Yeah, it's crazy. Friend of mine also has a few really weird cubes. So, yeah, this is how it started and this is how you had to end it.
This shit also his thing.
I'm not sure. You turn that around to make a cube or something out of that, right?
Yeah, it used to be some kind of circular form. I never was bothered to make it
No, I
back
do
to that form.
I do know those things, but it's not that. Revenge? What? With 4, okay, yeah, it's just 4x4. That, I wouldn't call that revenge. I mean, a 16 by 16 by 16 or so, yeah, you can call that revenge.
It's insanity.
Yeah, I call it insanity, exactly. I've seen one, they're so tiny! And it's insane how the technology behind those mega cubes is really cool. I mean, you can turn them in all directions. So that always fascinated me already with the regular Rubik's Cube, but with those big
Man is
ones.
man is an architect, so yeah, he knew his shit.
Yeah, okay, then the new 16 ones and bigger, they have nothing to do with him anymore. But basically use the same base technology to turn stuff around. But they're also kind of flimsy, so you don't want to let those drop. They will. You don't want to see a 16 by 16 by 16 drop on the floor. It will just dissolve
Oh
in
no, this shit is blown up.
in
How
teeny.
will okay, I'm already over that.
Yeah, that's the thing. A regular cube, no problem. You can let that drop. It doesn't matter. You push the cube in and it's fixed. But the big ones with the tiny pieces, no. Oh no. The friend of mine even made his own. So he had a cube with round corners.
Mhm.
Made it himself. He's a freak. I never finished a Rubik's Cube, I think, in my life. But I didn't try for 30 years, so should maybe grab one now.
I tried to build my Rubik's Cube with a YouTube guide. It was a lot.
Yeah, the thing is that the friend of mine knows the whole freaking algorithm and stuff that you need to solve it. It's basically always the same formula that you kinda start with to get to the end or something. So there's a reason why they finish it that fast in a few seconds. It's not like
Problem
they,
is, when you don't know this formula, you're kind of feeling lost.
yeah, you have to, if you really want to be good in Rubik's Cube and not solve it like look like this and turn, yeah, you have to learn the math and the theory before, and then you can do it impressively for others to be like, oh, or just have one which is ready done behind your back, have the other one here, and say, I can change it in the air and throw it up, and oh, hey, it's done. It's an easy magic trick. How to solve the Rubik's Cube? Just have two of them. All right. Anyway, let's get to an ad because I'm starting to get sweaty here, and I need a break after over 3 hours now.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
So let me start that music in the background.
Fuck epic.
That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to hear. Let me actually show this here because Chewbacca and stuff. Ooh, what the hell? For some reason. Okay, now it works. For some reason, it didn't like that my mouse cursor went away. So yeah, okay. Let me actually also go to this screen here. Yeah, thanks Lothar once more for hanging out and
Yeah, thanks for having me.
doing all the talking and the ranting and
And video is gone.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm on the end screen already, so
Okay. Bye,
all right.
Titan. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Lothar. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let me get this away. Let me get this over here. Let me close that call. Alright, and now let's go to the end screen. I might stream again later. I'm not sure yet. I still have a headache. But I need to get some shopping done and buy some food and things. So yeah, this was episode 23 of the Digital Homicides discussional podcast stream thingy, and I think we just stick with that name because for yeah, pretty much 3 years we say name will be changed, never changed it, so I guess we just stick with that. So normally if we split a topic we do it in the same month, but I think we just go with the monthly podcast now. I will talk to Lothar about that, but I think the next one will be, let's see, what is the next date then? The next date would be on Thursday again, because my dad has his birthday yesterday, so that was the reason why we put it on Friday. But we stick with the Thursday part, so next one will be, if we don't decide to do the second part, this month, the next one will be on July, actually August 5th. Should be fine. I get my vaccine on Wednesday, the day before. Last time I only had a little bit of a sore arm, so that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's my arm, not my mouth, so sorry, I'm still gonna talk a lot. So yeah. Yeah, Lothar, I guess we just do that monthly, and next time will be still space, and it will be part 2, but since that will be pretty much mostly related to horror in space, like monsters, aliens and stuff. And, yeah, okay, I don't have it in full screen anymore, that's why it's so small. On my end. And I switched to the other screen. Okay, never mind. Brain! Alright, anyway. Yeah, again, that was part number 23 of our podcast thingy. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Lothar, for being part of it, as always. And that being said, time zone appropriate greetings to everybody. Have a good one. Bye!